Hello everybody, Anthony Gonzalez here with another letter from our mailbag. We're going to read two. They're basically the same letter on the same topic. Number one is from James from Doylestown. He writes, "As you put it, you are the grandson of immigrants. I am wondering where you stand on the detention centers and the conditions there." Number two is Laura from North Royalton. "What is your position on the conditions and treatment of children and adults at the detention camps on the southern border?" So first off, both of you, thanks for the letters. This is the number one issue that we're hearing about right now. Folks are calling in, as you can imagine, daily, calling and writing in on this, and I appreciate it, and you're right to be concerned, because quite frankly, from all the reports that we've read, the situations and the people we've interviewed, the situation down at the border is as bad and untenable as it's ever been. A couple things on this. One, what's causing it, and then two, what are we doing about it? So when it comes to what's causing it, if you look, there has been a giant spike since February, really, in families presenting at the border and immigrants presenting at the border. And what is causing that, in my opinion, is the asylum laws, or are the asylum laws. The asylum laws, the way they're set up today, if you're a poor family in El Salvador or Guatemala, which is where most of these families are coming from, everything we have in the system encourages you to make that journey up through the southern border. And that is one of the most dangerous and difficult journeys that there is in the world. We have had people in our office that we've talked to who have made that journey themselves. We had a woman who talked about being raped multiple times a day as payment to the coyotes who were shepherding her up through the southern border. And that's not a unique story. That is happening down there, and that's part of the journey. And it's awful. It's absolutely awful. And what has now kind of come out is that folks know that if they present, and they present with children, that eventually they will be let into the country. And so we've seen a big surge, and I don't think it's surprising, frankly. And so as a result, the situation in the detention centers are overly taxed to a point that they're at a breaking point. And we hear that from CBP, we hear that from Homeland Security, and basically anybody who's in charge of monitoring or managing that situation, is that we are simply out of capacity. We're over capacity in our units. And so as a result, the conditions are terrible. Now, we did just pass a supplemental bill, which was like $4.6 billion, I think is the number, dollars that are going to go directly to the southern border just to help build capacity. So there'll be additional beds, there'll be more resources, humanitarian aid, more immigration judges, basically to just try to make the situation a little bit better. Frankly, this won't solve it because it doesn't solve the asylum laws, but it does provide, I think, a necessary Band-Aid. Not a perfect bill, but one I supported, again, because I think what's going on down there is really, really bad. And so we have to do that, and we did it. We didn't do it as quickly as I would have liked, but eventually we did it. Now, going forward, in terms of breaking asylum laws, what I'm planning to do, and we just need to finalize it, I think we'll be able to, is to do a bipartisan trip down to the border. I think it's important that we do it bipartisan. You'll read stories about, the Democrats went down and they saw these things, the Republicans went down and they saw these things, the president went down. Those are great, those are informative. I think it's a heck of a lot better for us to go down together as Republicans and Democrats. Let's kind of take our partisan hats off and let's just observe the situation together as one group, one bipartisan group that's committed to solving the problem. I think we will get way further doing it that way than if we just go down in our partisan silos and take our partisan viewpoints. So I'm excited about that. I hope to have that finalized by the end of the month. I'll certainly update you as soon as we hear about it. But that's my commitment to you. The situation's terrible. It's absolutely awful. It's bad for the kids. It's bad for the parents. It's bad for the country. But I do think that if we do it in a bipartisan way and we come into it with an open mind, that hopefully we can move the ball forward. So thank you for your feedback. Thanks for the letters. Keep calling, keep writing in, especially about this, but anything else that's on your mind. And as always, thank you for sending me here.